Welcome back for game number 2. Apologies for calling Mississippi State Michigan State. We're getting this ban phase right under wraps. Very same bans that we saw last game with Zed and Anivia. Tristana going to be joined in the first couple of bans, along with Sion, interestingly enough.
Going back to that mistake from the last game, I can obviously see why we get confused because it has a big M and it says state. So come on, give us a break. Give us a break. Come on, pat in the back. Well, good try. Good try.
Bans here based off the performance in game number 1. Ari and Jax going to be put on the ban hammer. Jax very much so justified for Mississippi, who is on red side this time around.
I'm very curious
Ari, on the other
now.
hand, that's a little interesting.
I'm very curious now. That is the second time they banned Zed. I'm wondering how good Fop is with Zed. You think he's like a one trick or he is just super strong with that champion? But overall, Zed is super strong.
Speaking of super strong, the Fiora insta-lock in, the whole blind pick. How is Mad going to respond? With Caitlyn? With Caitlyn for their AD carry. Definitely not my first AD carry of choice, but one that's viable nonetheless. Back my boy Lucian. Trundle going to be the response for Fiora in the top lane?
I think so, which is a pretty decent matchup to be honest, because if Fiora tries to engage on you, you just pillar her away and just keep on farming. You know, it's very safe. So is Caitlyn. Caitlyn can also save farm as well. I just don't know if I just don't know if they I have the Caitlyn pick must be where they are just gonna start picking up really good early engaged champions, because Trundle, obviously he's a really good early engaged champion. He provides extra movement speed for himself. He can also make tanks feel weak as well, and the pillar can catch anyone off out of position.
Speaking of catching people out of position, that's going to be the lock-in for Zoe once again, and we're seeing a Tarek ban again targeting Vectroid on his support. Udyr, a very interesting jungle choice indeed, going to be met up with Jarvan. 8 seconds on the ban, and that's going to be a very similar ban to game 1. We're seeing Braum getting banned out. Last ban here for Mississippi. Gotta make sure I say it right.
Yep, gotta make sure we say it right.
That is asking if Pillar slows down you and attack speed. I believe it does. In response, the Ezreal going to be locked in. A little bit of a powerful pick here with Karma, so that's going to be a lot of poke going down in the bot lane. Do keep in mind the Kleptomancy did get nerfed. Wait.
Is that Lulu mid?
Lulu.
Oh, is that Teemo mid?
Wait. Don't tease me, man. What's the mid lane pick?
You know. Oh. You know what? This is what we get. This is what we get for saying Michigan instead of Mississippi. Now they get to do this to us. Like, and it's the Azir. Wow.
Very powerful pick. Zoe and Azir both have some relatively long range. I actually am not too familiar with that matchup in terms of who wins it.
I really do like this matchup, though. I mean, the Ezreal being picked up to maybe counterplay against the Trundle and the dives from the J4, that's actually pretty good.
Wait a minute. With the switches, I think we have a little bit of a strange situation. I don't think we're seeing Zoe AD carry, but I'm also not seeing Georgia switch anything. Okay, there it is. Okay.
But at the same time, I am optimistic, so I would really like to see that Zoe AD carry one of these days.
Are going from my boy Fop here in terms of being the power couple on the Azir. For those who are just joining us in terms of what happened game number 1. In game number 1, Mississippi State on the red side this time around showed off very strong with their picks and ban phases. Ari into Ziggs actually was able to get a little bit going on. The game there, she actually got a quadra kill, almost got the penta, but Nar stole it, unfortunately. At any rate, Jax on Team Georgia was able to get a lot of split push and towers in the mid and late game, trying to keep his team in the game, but at the end, it just wasn't enough. was definitely a lot better for Mississippi State as they got 3 dragons, an Elder Drake, and a Baron. What do you think we're going to be seeing here in terms of objective control in game number 2? All right, minor mic difficulties, but it matters not. I'm the only caster that you need, chat. Believe me. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. In terms of summoner spells, at the very least, Zoe opting to take that Ignite versus Azir, who opted to take Heal instead. That could go. I still think that matchup can go in anyone's favor. Our choice here for Georgia State is definitely going to be Ghosty McToasty on that Udyr. I either see Udyrs pop the hell off or just become irrelevant for the entire game. I have yet to see an in-between here. Who's in the chat? Is everything coming out okay?
I believe I had to reconnect.
You did, but the chat is fine.
Yeah, and I heard that, by the way. You can't take the show from me, too? Come on. You can't do that.
Show's got to go on, man. If the other guy just...
Partners in crime. So what was the question again? You asked me a question as soon as my mic died out, didn't you?
Yes. I asked, what do you think we're going to see in game number 2 in terms of objective control? We saw in game 1, Mississippi was able to get a lot of objective control in terms of their dragons. What do you think is going to happen in game 2?
Game 2, it looks to be Mississippi is going to have to commit to a lot of these fights because honestly, I see the Fiora split pushing all day and I see the Udyr. Udyr is an insane split pusher as well, and he has a lot of that mobility, so I'm not sure if the Trundle and the J4 will be able to lock him down and to actually kill him as well. So we are just gonna have to wait and see because it is still anyone's game right now as we are just about to hit the loading screen. So as soon as we hit the loading screen, we'll be on the starting soon screen as we just wait for the arrival of the summoners.
At any rate, I think the wild card or the X factor for both teams here is definitely going to be the junglers Ghosty McToasty and Gerard. Jarvan the Fourth, he could build his ability to determine the success for his team. And as I mentioned previously, I've either seen Udyrs be completely irrelevant throughout the entire game or just completely pop off and take over the game. In my mind that Ghosty McToasty, he'll be able to pop off in some form.
I honestly think he is going to pop off. I mean, he is. I mean, oh, let me remove that intermission because we are live and ready to be, almost ready to be inside this second game. I'm going to have to wait a bit here.
My cutoffs from my fellow caster friend at any rate. Let's go over the rune choices here. Very standard on the for Mississippi here, or excuse me, for Georgia. We're getting Kleptomancy on the Azrael. He doesn't opt to take the tree in terms of his second tree. Karma with Airy, Cyberpunk Zoe with Arcane Comet instead of Electrocute that we saw in the previous game. Udyr with the Press the Attack. Fiora also with Press the Attack. Trundle going to try and mitigate that damage with Grasp of the Undying. Looks like this Jarvan the Fourth is going to be building a lot of AD with that Electrocute.
Yeah, normally when you build that rune on the Electrocute, you're going for the one-shot Cataclysms.
The question is he going to be able to get that one-shot Cataclysms? One thing that I am noticing is that Georgia doesn't have any form of engage aside from Udyr just kind of suiciding or trying to tank off. Jarvan and Trundle and Azir to an extent, and even Bard. So Mississippi opting to go for a lot more heavy engage potential. We're going to see if that's going to be the way that they close out this series here. At any rate, a little bit of a lag before all our summoners load into the game here.
It's always like that, isn't it?
Let us know in the chat. The switch scenes, not sure what that's in reference to.
Yeah, the scene is switched. I mean, we're here.
A little bit of some scene troubles.
Wait, isn't the scene switched?
Both teams.
I can see it switched, isn't it?
No clue. stream on my screen is lagging out, as is my game actually.
Oh, is it? I'm good. And
There
oh,
we go.
wait a minute. This is an early invade here. They're gonna spawn him out. They're gonna try to land that Bard stun, but it is not gonna hit the mark. They did put a ward into that bush, so they do know that Ghosty is gonna start on the red side, but it is still pretty standard for both lanes at the moment, as the red side is gonna start on the blue, most likely. I don't see any rotation heading towards the red side, and the Udyr from the blue side is gonna start red.
Minions have spawned.
1 second, I seem to be having some ping issues. Once I sort this out, I'll be right back.
In the future.
It's the same thing with me. I don't even know if it was just my connection, but it just all of a sudden disconnected me at the same time. But yeah, it's pretty standard from both sides, as yet again the blue and the red on both bottom sides. So we might see another mid lane gank once they have reached their level 2 or 3 mark, depending on when they want to do these ganks. And a little bit of aggression here. He is, as IT guys, trying to get those vital points, trying to do that early damage, and not seen too much. A ping on the top side saying that it is warded, so I do not know what to do at the moment. Caitlyn is getting a lot of pokes here. Karma with the Ezreal combo, it is just a bunch of pokes, and honestly, the most annoying thing I've ever played against would be a Bran. Bran is way better poked than Karma, but Karma applies the pressure of the chain link, and also the shielding as well for mobility, and the Q for the slow. And then her ult is very in tune with just being at the low cooldown here, and he is gonna try to get on this fight, and Udyr, he's right behind him. The sleep is gonna land, but no follow-up. J4, he tried to get a fight here, and look at Mag. He's gonna take some of the damage from the vital point. He from those pressure vital points actually, and he takes in a little bit, almost too much. Did I get my caster back? Did I just hear you?
I think you did. I'm having a lot of really strange internet issues. Apologies for people in the chat. To a lot of connection issues all of a sudden for some reason, but I think we're good to go now. At any rate, looks like I haven't missed much of anything, as First Blood hasn't been given out to either team yet.
No First Blood, just a bunch of poke from the Karma and a bunch of poke from the Fiora, and actually J4, he is coming around on this bot lane, and as well as all this is happening, Karma is going to commit to that flash. The chain link is going to land. It's going to be a stun on the snare, but this is the return damage. First Blood for the Bard. No Triumph. Ezreal, he's going to commit to that fight, and off screen, the top side is also fighting as well. Will the Caitlyn be able to pick up this kill? To J4 for the assist, and yes, it is a 1-for-2 trade here.
We're seeing here, unlike the first game around, we're seeing both teams here getting very bloody in the very start of the game.
Pretty much. I mean, oh, wait a minute. He's going to do a lot of damage here. Will he be able to commit? Here is Ghosty. He's on the side. He was just stealing the Krugs. You can see the leftovers that he has just left for the J4, but he does not care. Gerald, he tried to get the flag and drag to land on Pure, but will not hit the mark. Once again, this is the third time he comes around towards that mid lane and is not able to execute none of those ganks.
Cow, am I getting a butt ton of lag from all sides. At any rate, Zoe was lucky enough to get out of there with their lives here. Already we're seeing quite a significant margin in gold difference here, as you're already starting to see that there's some CS differences between both teams.
J4 on the top side, he is picking up his leftover Krug, so he's going to be able to get that reset. The Krugs and the Grump, they give you the most XP, so it is important for him to do that reset. IT guy, he's going to wait patiently in that brush on the top side. He's going to wait for those vital points to show up, and there is one of them, but is on an awkward side. Mag is going to put his body towards the wall. That is just going to get... Oh, wait, Penguin? Oh, he's going to get poked down, Penguin.
Look at the scuffle.
Yeah, he just sort of lets it happen. I mean, I guess he's very confident that the fleet footwork is gonna get all that health back, and yeah, it does. And the health from Only Daddy. Wait a minute, I just noticed something. It wasn't Only Daddy the ADC last game for Mississippi State?
They do have some substitutes. Meanwhile, we're going to see a little bit of a scuffle in the Dragon Pit.
And the Dragon will be secured for the J4, but Ghosty, he is stuck in there, and the Bard, he's going to try to land on Stun on Pure, and the Azir, he's going to fail the Shurima Shuffle and the ult, but it does not matter. They have tons of damage. Zoe's going to land the sleep. The Azir, he's going to try to block that damage, and if it would have landed, definitely Zoe would have picked up a kill. Great trades here for Michigan State. They pick up the Dragon, and they also pick up those kills at the same time. The vital point is gonna be... No, actually, he's not gonna continue onto that push. As Mag, he is pretty low. The Azir with his first kill, and also with that minion lead on the board. He's gonna definitely develop these items. The bot tower, they have recently died at the Dragon Pit, and they're not gonna be able to... Oh, actually, great stun landing from the Bard, and it's gonna secure a kill here. Penguin, he is level 6, and YS Soup level 4. He is not gonna be able to secure or hold on to this defense here at the bot side. This is a potential risk of losing your tier 1 tower, and Udyr, he is sitting on the top side as he is just gonna he is getting the wolf camp. He's gonna go to the blue side, and it does not look like a full commitment from Michigan State. They're gonna once again play it. Mississippi State, I'm so sorry, Mississippi State, as they are just gonna go ahead and play it soft. Sorry about that. It's because I saw something, it distracted me, and yeah, there I go again. But Penguin, he is gonna play aggressive here, and Bard with the predictions will land the Q, but it will not stun. The Ezreal was not close to that tower. Pure taking up a lot of damage as Bob is gonna be able to put this pressure, but here comes the Udyr. He's gonna get from the bot side, but it does not matter. The sleep with the Zhonya's, that is an awkward moment, but here is Udyr for the chase, and this is the hunt, but no, it actually isn't. He is just gonna get away.
Unlike what we saw in game number 1, this is looking pretty rough for Georgia State. You're seeing down in the bot lane, carry and their support are behind a whole level, and you're seeing those kinds of differences in CS and in levels throughout all stages of the game.
Mississippi,
unlike game number 1, it's been a bloodbath as well, with tons of kills going over to Mississippi State.
And the
just
ult
like
will
this
land
arcade
onto
here.
Vec here, and he looks like, ooh, great reflex. He's gonna dodge that Q and stun from the Bard, but that is still an exchange of summoner spells at the bot side. And look at Mag and IT Guy, they might seem to fight here, but it does not look to be so. And just like what you were saying, or actually what I was about to say, to be exact, I lost train of thought. I wanted to say that, look at the lead early on with Mississippi State. What do you think about this lead?
It's definitely a sharp contrast to what we saw in game 1. Mississippi State once again being the aggressor, having a 3k gold lead, but it doesn't matter because look at the top side and the bot. We're going to see a fight go down here.
IT Guy, he might go down here, and he will, as he is going to secure that kill. The Cataclysm is going to land onto the Ezreal. He's going to flash out to safety. They are not going to be able to chase this, as Ghosty, he does not look that interesting onto those leftover onto those low health targets. He is just gonna let them walk away. Ezreal level 6. Actually, he has already thrown his ult, so he may have already missed it, as they are just gonna get away with their lives here. 4,000 gold. 4,000 gold ahead. First tower. It is 1-8. Mississippi, they have a huge lead.
Definitely so. The one thing that has been consistent between these two games here is Mississippi's control over the map. Look at the map right now and the amount of wards and vision that they have both from top side and bot side. as well as the objective that they had got earlier, and the Earth Drake. You're seeing that Mississippi has a lot of control over the objectives through this game, through their vision, and that's going to be something that's going to help them out a little early with their 8-1 lead and their 4.5 gold.
Look at Bard. He's throwing up a lot of that poke, and he's gonna actually land his ult. And oh, Karma is gonna lay victim to this. The stun. Oh, actually no stun, just a trap. And here is the headshot, or the one shot. Sorry, with the Caitlyn. Soup. He almost died actually. And here comes our Shurima shuffle. It's gonna land along with the sleep. Return from the Zoe. Will she be able to escape this with her life? Gerard, he is on the side here, but I think he has a little bit of vision here. Let's see if
You're gonna go for the execute. That's the real question.
Oh no,
he's actually gonna go for the execute, and he actually
does. We waited patiently to see if he was gonna get it. Like, oh man.
Cranium blast.
And being the most oppressive bot lane in the entire League of Legends game, already moving up to the second tier turret down in the bot lane. She's gonna back off for now, but good lord, man. Going in tier 2 turrets, only 11 minutes in the game, that's pretty significant.
That is very significant, actually. That is a 5,000 gold lead, and here it is, the fight at the top side. Rough IT guy, he does not have all the flag and drag's gonna land, but great parry's gonna block it all, and here is the ultimate, but it is not enough as they exchange tower shots between the Trundle and the J4, and now this looks to be an objective for the top lane. And also off screen at the Dragon Pit, there's only 3 members from Mississippi State, and actually they are gonna secure a dragon as well. They didn't even have smite. It does not look like.
And that's Mississippi State muscles showing how well they have the objective game covered down. A 6k gold lead, 12 minutes in the game, 10 kills to 1. I'm ready to see the forfeits come through, man. I'm telling you.
No forfeits
Georgia
here.
University,
Fight it all the
barely
way.
trying to get here, is not going to be able to do so, at least not with this wave. Pretty strong, pretty strong.
I'm still seeing where the major lead is, but oh, here comes the only daddy. He's gonna, oh, actually no. Pure's gonna go ahead and flash out of that. He's gonna probably do as much damage as he can, but it is not possible. He didn't want to risk any more kills on the map here. And there is a lot of pressure. Look at the bot lane. Look at the top lane. It is all the way push and bot. He actually dodges into Q. The Shurima Shuffle is going to land once again. He keeps landing those except for that one time. But this time, it is going to matter. Pure does not have flash. This could be his death here. And it is getting close, and he will get it. A kill going in for the J4. Everyone has at least more than 2 kills on their scoreboard. They're gonna be able to probably push up for this. Oh, great Ezreal! It's gonna save that tower for at least a little bit longer.
Mississippi State definitely flexing their muscles, increasing their lead tenfold now. 11 kills to 1, 14 minutes in the game, and at this rate, it's looking like they might just average 1 kill every minute or 2.
This is actually
for a game as organized as this.
I mean, we were both there, right? Game 1 versus Mississippi State versus North Georgia. We were there, right? Game 1, just to make sure. Okay, so what do you think about the gears right now? I mean, it would seem to be a slow game. Both sides, you know, a little bit slow on the game. But look at Mississippi State. Look how look at the gold lead here and the advantage, and also the items. And oh, actually, Bard's gonna get taken down. But here comes the rest of the team as Trundle and J4. They are on their way. They want some revenge for the Bard death. And here is Penguin. He's on the side, but he is by himself. But they're not gonna commit to him. And as I was saying, Mississippi State is gonna, oh wait a minute, Pure is gonna stay too far up on that fight, and just like I said with the Trundle, the pillar is not gonna allow them to escape or give them an easy escape out of any of these team fights. And the Azir, he does have the Shrima Shuffle with the wall, is able to push up anyone out from under this tower if he chooses to do so. The Ezreal ult is gonna kill some of these minions off, but it does not matter. The demolish is gonna be way too much damage, and there is the Azir tower. It is temporary, but it is just gonna hold him back there.
2-0. And you also have to keep in mind you, that the turret in the bot lane is very low, and I believe the turret in the top lane is also relatively low. So Mississippi State has been killing it, getting all these towers. They've gotten all the dragons. Scary here for Georgia.
Yeah, it is scary, as you saw that pressure, right? As all this team fight was happening, Udyr is gonna split push, and here is the Shrima Shuffle, but it's not gonna do anything, and actually he's gonna get himself caught out here. The ult is only gonna stop the Ezreal. He's gonna Zhonya's. Where is the rest of the team? Jay Force here, but not enough time to save his life. The Trundle barely coming into this fight. He's gonna sleep, and he is gonna probably die here as well, but here is the rest of the team. Actually, no, the Kaylee's gonna stay bot. She's not gonna bother rotating, and here is the parry, the damage, and the combo from the Zoe, and he's gonna Zonya's one of those tower hits.
The cheeky Zonyas.
This is gonna be an easy mid tower for the blue team. I mean, even though they are behind such an enormous amount of gold lead, they are still fighting back in this game.
Yeah, that tower is something that they definitely needed, as well as those 2 kills, going to mitigate the vast differences in gold that these 2 teams have. Even so, Mississippi does have a lot more in Georgia in terms of objectives, but Fiora...
Whoa, wait a minute. Was that tunnel vision from the J4? And look at... Wow, none of them could have blocked that Caitlyn shot at all. They were both at low health. But what was that? What was that on the J4? He tunnel visioned, and he didn't see the Fiora coming up behind him.
That's definitely something that you're looking for when you're this far behind. That's going to be the temple swing that they might need. Their turret's evened out. The cheeky Ezreal almost secures the red buff, but Caitlyn takes it anyway. The Dragon's going to be spawning very soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mississippi does their absolute hardest to try and secure that as well.
Mississippi, they have a huge lead. Look at those items. Those are big at the early game. It's not even 20 minutes in, and look at this tower. It's gonna get shredded down at the damage, and with the lead that Mississippi State has, the safe passage is gonna go ahead and just completely let him run away safe here. Look at Trundle. He is gonna continue on to that push. The Cloud Drake, I don't know if this is a real objective or not. Maybe get the rift, but maybe we might see a fight here. But no, it looks like Georgia is actually gonna start rotating to the top lane. They're gonna try to save that second tier top tower, and great warding positioning from the Trundle. He gets a whiff out of all of them coming in to try to kill him, and he's just gonna walk away with just leaving the tower very low.
A free objective given out, and they don't even get a kill out of that, so that's actually rather bad for Georgia University. Even seeing Zoe is able to get the sleep off on Jarvan, but they're so far behind that they can't even fully commit to that attack. Mississippi looking down mid, trying to see if they can end this game a little early. The Shuriman Tower, I should say, is going to be planted, granting safe passage for this siege to go down in the mid lane. But without a Rift Herald or a Baron buff, I don't think this is something that they can really take on yet.
Mississippi, once again, they are playing safely here, and they are going to play patiently, and it seems like they might go for the dive here. Fiora, IT guy, he's going to jump into this fight, but he is all by himself. But yes, he will die. Zoe almost committing to that fight. He's going to get caught up here. The flag and drag, and the damage from Mississippi State. This looks to be an inhibitor tower, and here is Penguin versus Ghostly. He's going to try to interrupt that damage from the tower, and there is no pressure here. Soup, he is going low, and the bar damage and the flash from Fop. The Azir is gonna pick up the kill onto the one of the only persons that can clear these waves, and they're gonna continue on to this push. Or maybe actually they could turn for Baron here.
At any rate, this is incredibly surprising. 20 minutes in the game and already there's an inhibitor down. This is starting to look a little bit more like last season, where games would only last 20 minutes, but instead, it's just Mississippi strutting their stuff. They're having a field day here. 18 kills to 5, a whole 10k gold lead, and 4 turrets, including 1 inhibitor. Bell, hell, they could just take Baron for free here if they really wanted to and just end the game that way if they so choose. They definitely have the tempo, and they are controlling this game as best as they can. It's going to be very difficult for Georgia University to try and just make it out of here. Udyr, Ghosty McToasty, once again trying to strut his stuff and stabilize his team to rally behind him, but one man alone is not enough to carry an entire team in a situation such as this.
Losing a 20-minute inhibitor with no items built up yet. I mean, maybe just 1 for each member compared to the 2.5 for Mississippi State. And the Bard, actually, surprisingly enough, he has a rapid fire cannon, and I think he's been getting a bunch of meeps around the map, so his auto attacks do a lot of damage. There goes Trundle too. Trundle is gonna apply the counter push at the bot side as the Udyr. He's gonna have nowhere to go to split push and put a lot of pressure onto these towers and force an inhibitor, because if Udyr goes to the top, he's gonna be facing super minions. So now Trundle, it seems like they have eyes on him and they want to go for this, but Zoe and the Fiora, they're a little bit inching their way closer to the Baron pit, making sure that they don't try to attempt to get the Baron, because at that point it's gonna be close to game as we know it.
I think this is another situation where it's just a lose-lose, similar to what we saw in game 1. Either you lose, where you lose one of the inhibitors. In this situation is either you lose an inhibitor or you lose the Baron and potentially lose the game off of that.
Oh, here comes the team from Mississippi State. They see the Ezreal. This is a juicy fight, and the Bardo is gonna land, but no stun on the follow-up. Pure, he's doing a lot of damage as the Zoe. The Hex Flash on Ezreal. I just noticed that he has Hex Flash. And wait a minute, what is this? This is actually a turn onto the Baron. They're gonna try to two-man this, and they can. As Caitlyn, she is 303, 231 farm. She has the stack shift. She has the IE. The only daddy. He is distracting the rest of the team onto him. There is no contestment here. This is a free Baron, and this is big.
Like game 1, where there's only a couple minutes left in the game, basically, Mississippi has been able to seize the tempo throughout the entirety of this game, strutting their stuff and showing their domination on Summoner's Rift.
A little bit of a fight here between Ghostly and Mag. A little bit of scrimmage here, and the pillar is not gonna land, and honestly, who would have won that fight?
Way, Ghosty McToasty, as we mentioned previously, is desperately trying to have his team rally behind him, but he can only do so much when Mississippi is just shown such a dominating force in both vision, map control, objective control, you name it, Mississippi's got it.
Look at this push. This is perfectly timed. There are super minions on the top side. Trundle, he also has his buffed minions on the Baron, and that is a free inhibitor. There's no way they're going to continue onto the soup. He might get dove on here, and here comes Udyr. He's going to go ahead and chase down the Trundle, but at a cost of what? As they will lose their mid inhibitor. Soup, he might get dive on here by Fop. The Azir, he comes from the backside, and he's going to pick up a double kill. The Nexus towers are next on their schedule here, as one of them is about to go down, and an inhibitor on the off screen is also going to be taken down. The Nexus tower is dangerously low. That is three Nexuses down, and Caitlyn's going to pick up the kill on the Fiora. There are no carries alive right now. 4 members dead. Sorry about that, but it is going to be GG for this game. Sorry about that. I did not want to get their name wrong.
That's going to be the series going over to Mississippi. If I remember, they won game number 1, showing their domination in the game 2. Game 1, they took things a little bit slow, tried to get a little feel for their opponents here, but they definitely picked off in game 2.